Ladies and gentlemen, you better buckle in. We got a fantastic one here today. I got the powder blue on. That's how you know it's a good day. We're headed for the biggest earnings week of the entire season. This is when it hits, and I hope you're ready for it. You can tell there's some fantastic, beautiful names on here. So many that this is going to take a while to talk about, but I picked out 4. I tried to restrain myself, right? I only picked out 4 when I want to talk about 9 million of these, but we'll talk about all of them, but only go in depth on 4 of them, okay? Those being, you'll see when we get to them. I think you can tell which ones they might be, but let's rock right into it. I mean, we got a lot to talk about today. So before open here, Monday, we got Lockheed Martin. Not sure necessarily what to believe about Lockheed Martin. Business remains core. I mean, core business just remains, similar to what it's doing. Nothing crazy going on there. Nothing at all. After them, we have Hasbro. I play, don't play many board games. Don't know what the industry looks like right now. I know really they've stemmed to a lot more digital downloads as opposed to physical board games, really, as I think most people really have as well. But let me tell you, they charge too much. If you ever looked, it costs like freaking $20 to get Scrabble on a gaming console. $20, it's Scrabble. Good golly. How much does that cost you to make? 5 cents? Then we have Otis. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, don't mean to be rude to Hasbro there, okay? Checkpoint, Lennox. Who knew that was still a thing? Philips. Philips makes a lot of different appliances, man. A lot of different appliances. So, what do you feel about those? Feel all right. I enjoyed the toothbrush. Let me tell you, they make some mean toothbrushes. There's no doubt about it. Core business still intact, though, in my opinion, regardless of environment. Alliance Resource Partners, RPM, Bank of Hawaii, the financials are still in here, baby. Not done yet. And Dorman. After close, it's got to be a focus one, okay? It's got to be a focus. It's Tesla. I mean, we know Tesla, right? We got to talk about it every single gosh darn week because it's Tesla. Every earnings season, I should say. Not every week, but if you want to talk about it every week, we could. So they're expected an EPS line of 96 cents. That compares to 44 cents of a year ago. I completely buy this. If you look at the quarter this compares to, it's a somewhat of a relatively weak quarter in this quarter last year, obviously due to shutdowns. So there were limitations. But I see this being certainly feasible. Obviously, they've very much improved the vehicle margin over the last year as well. Even due to constraints in supply chain, those have really improved compared to where they were last year. So just overall improvement in terms of cost to make the vehicles. I bet that's where you'll see this EPS line show where it's at. So I'd be shocked if they didn't hit that number. Because I feel pretty decent about this quarter for them, actually. From a revenue standpoint, expected $11.21 billion. That's an 85% increase again. That's on a weak quarter last year where they put up only $6 billion. And there's many reasons for that. So it's a pretty easy quarter to beat in terms of that aspect. But 11.21 would not be incredibly bad of a Q2 for them. So it would be pretty nice, all things considered, if they're able to post that number. I think they hit their revenue line. I feel like I'm seeing more Teslas driving around than usual. I think people are definitely getting on the train here. But again, we will have other electric vehicles coming into the market at the end of the year as well as into next year. So we'll see what happens then. That's the real test for this company, in my opinion. So what they do now is pretty vital. They want to get as much business now as they can because I believe if they can win customers over right away and they won't go to those other brands for electric, then they'll be good. So that's the main thing. They need to really rocket this business this year and prove that they're the dominant name in electric vehicles and will always be that way. So that's my opinion on the matter. It should be a double beat, though. We've got Logitech after them. I expect decent things out of Logitech, really. Primarily, mostly because we're going to continue this trend from work from home. Remote work is going to continue. It really will. Some companies are going to reduce it this year, but I do believe some companies will keep it as an option for employees. They're going to make positions solely for remote work. And Logitech is essential for that because obviously any computer go-to gadgets, here you go, from web cameras, which are obviously essential for things like Zoom meetings, which everyone's going to have to if you're in a remote work. They're going to make you do Zoom meetings. Microphones, which are helpful because you don't just want a little chintzy microphone if you want to be a professional, professional person. That's why I don't have a chintzy microphone. I'm professional. What can I say? Logitech, I expect good things, and I expect their business here it's really benefiting from the environment right now. AGNC F5 Networks, named after a violent tornado. PCA, TFI International, Range Resources, Agile Therapeutics, Axalta, and Potlatch-Deltic. Don't mispronounce that, okay? It's very easy to say. Tuesday before open, UPS, still a continued benefit for UPS is the trend of online sales. E-commerce really boosts the amount of deliveries you're going to see from these companies. So pretty nice to see that core business stronger than ever, I would say. GE, still a company in transition. I say it every time because they really are. They're really working through a lot of the kinks, but I'm pretty impressed. I think they're really turning the business around. Still just not seeing quite revenue growth because they shrunk the main core of their business down by half, so not a shocker. But yeah, GE still hanging in there. 3M, again, I say core business is steady with this one. Nothing crazy with their products and how they make it. Eventually, I think there may be some. You talk about the potential in the future. 3M products. They make a wide range of products, but you talk about the office supply sector. Maybe there's a time in which office supplies obviously see a decline. We saw it in retail last year where office supplies were actually declining, but I think that was more because of the 100% lack of anyone working. Now, there still will be in office positions, so I think that still keeps the core business fine. But as we move to more remote work, I think it could have an impact. Raytheon Technologies, great company here. Pretty good company. What can I say? JetBlue, we saw from some of the, we'll see from some of these airplane companies, these airlines, how they look. Boeing obviously reporting later this week, but I'm curious to see what happens there. Waste management, core business, it's crappy. I say that just because it's waste. But not that kind of waste. It was just a joke, okay? Core business is fine. Sherwin-Williams, painting, really do actually feel good about that because I do believe the home improvement trend is still going strong, but there will be tough comps against last year because home improvement was even higher last year. And I think it'll continue this way because the housing market is so high right now that I think people are going to focus on improving what they have as opposed to moving out. That's my opinion on the matter. Polt Group, Corning and SiriusXM. I never do anything with SiriusXM because they just send you spam messages all the time. After close, Apple. It's another focus stock. How could I not? So they're expected to put up an EPS line of $1 flat. Not crazy, all things considered. Not too bad. I think it's certainly a line that they hit. I think they'll beat it probably by a pretty good margin, actually. I expect more close to $1.20 to $1.30 from this company. I think profitability is at a high point on this company. Great things going on in the core business model, and you see that really with the revenue expectations. Expected a 22% growth at $73 billion compared to right around $60 of last year. I think this will be a beat of most likely, hear me out, probably $2 billion beat. I know some of you might find this crazy, but I think this will be a $75 billion line on this quarter. I think it's a little bit of a lowball estimate for them. I'm expecting $75 billion out of this company for many reasons. I think the services segment is going to be significant, but I do still believe phone strength is there. I think phone strength is significant right now despite chip shortage. I think phone strength is significant. And you're going to see that really in this line. I really do. I really think that phone strength is going to kind of outperform what people might have expected this quarter. So Expect good things out of Apple. AMD, you can't say good enough things about this company. A recent position for me that I just added on is AMD, one that I love, love, love. Oops, sorry, hit on the bottom there. But AMD, I love AMD, right? Company I just recently added because I love them so much. Core business strength with gaming is out of this world. Still significant strength. Year over year, tough comps, but again, the strength here is going to be in, is in gaming, and it's going to continue that way. Whether the industry is expanding in game sales, AMD is still going to be doing well because of hardware. It's what they do. So I expect great things out of AMD this quarter. Microsoft, I also expect great things out of Microsoft. Again, the way that earnings works for Microsoft, though, is a little bit different. Cloud strength is the focus for a lot of investors right now, and that's what leads the stock up or down. I think overall, the business is going to be doing fantastic numbers. You're going to see great console sales from the Xbox Series X. You're going to see, I think, cloud's still going to do fantastic. But again, you think about it, as that cloud strength it lessens, you're not growing by as high of percentages, but dollar amount you're still growing the same, probably around a 50% growth in Microsoft Azure. But I think the core business here is beautiful. Microsoft's going to be doing great numbers, and you get there with Alphabet as well. We saw from some of the Twitters and the Snapchats of the world that ad recovery it's there, right? The ad rates are where they need to be. And Alphabet will benefit significantly from that, obviously, because that's how they get the majority of the money. So I expect great things out of Alphabet as well. Visa's Visa. I mean, there's not much to say. Credit spend, I believe, is, from reports I've seen, is up year over year. I think credit spend is going in the right direction for them, which benefits them. So, yeah, Teladoc. Starbucks after that. I mean, there's banger after banger. We've seen a lot of price hikes, for price targets, I should say, for Starbucks. Will they be able to continue that trend? I do think they will, obviously opening up store locations as well as continuing the strength they've had through drive-thrus. I think they're able to do some good numbers, and Starbucks will find some recovery, no doubt. Should be softball estimates, obviously, because this is a quarter in which all Starbucks in China and really all U.S. locations were shut down. Should see some significant growth in comps, in my opinion. Enphase Energy after them, Quantum Scope, and Olin. Wednesday before open, Boeing. We'll look to JetBlue for similar numbers, but I think Boeing will be a little bit different, obviously because it's a stronger core business than JetBlue. But, it'll be softball numbers again, as I say. Easily. Albert Pujols playing celebrity softball, basically. That's what you're going to happen. We're talking about Albert Pujols versus Shaq in Shaq versus. You ever watched that one? Just going to be honest, last year's numbers are going to be the Shaq numbers, right? Let's just say he could not hit the ball at all. Boeing here, though, this year should be putting up the Albert Pujols numbers because the recovery's there. Airline tickets cost more than they used to last year. Going to be a great comp. Shopify, as we continue the trend of e-commerce, Shopify continues to grow significantly. Core business is fantastic on this one, and the growth rates don't stop. They don't stop with Shopify. This company is very well poised for the future, on the forefront of their business. I mean, it is great. This company is fantastic. Stock's still a little high for me, but I think the company itself is incredible, incredibly well poised for the next several years. I like them. Pfizer, we'll talk about. I think one of the main core things they're going to talk about in their earnings is going to be sales from vaccines, where they expect to be in the next year. For the year total, you saw it with Johnson & Johnson as well. It's going to be something they talk about a lot. Tilray, not a company I talk about too much, obviously, in the Mary Jane industry. Not a whole lot of strength here because there were a lot of players in the game, but Tilray obviously reports, and we'll see what happens for them. Obviously, as legalization expands, Tilray sees a benefit, but again, I think there's still a few too many players in the game for him. McDonald's also against weaker comps last year, so I think it should be good numbers for them. One thing you know about McDonald's, if you've ever downloaded the freaking app, they're just giving away food daily. They're just giving away free stuff. How do they afford that? It's got to be messing with their bottom line, but again, the cost to make the product it's pretty darn cheap. We know how they make it, right? We know this by now, but still, I just don't know how they're giving away free food. Spotify, people listen to music. It's going to be relatively tough comps compared to last year because they'll have to keep a lot of the subscribers they gained last year. But I feel good about Spotify, especially with their significant boom into the podcast game. I think that's where they're going to get a lot of new users from now. It's going to be getting those exclusive podcasts like they did with Joe Rogan. They want exclusive podcasts on their platform. That's what they want. Bristol Myers after them, Teva and Thermo Fisher Scientific, followed by Generac. People buying a lot of generators right now? I don't know. I couldn't tell you if they were. I don't know. I feel like that's just a similar business. Doesn't change much. Facebook after them. That's right. It's one of the focus stocks. One a day, baby. What was Facebook able to do? Well, significant things. Facebook, mighty impressive. There's things I like about Facebook here. You're expected $3.02 in an EPS line, significantly more than last year, what they were expected $1.80. And again, that's because of last year lower ad rates. This year they've got the significant growth in ad rates. I think user growth still great for them. I'm expecting good things. I like Facebook Marketplace. I like everything this company's doing right now. So I think this profitability line, it's a beat. $3.20 to $3.50 is a closer estimate for me. I think it's a beat on an EPS line. Now for revenue, significant growth, 59.9% expected. Growth here, $27.8 billion. I think this is a $30 billion line. I think the ad rates are actually growing faster than what expected, and I think you saw that with Twitter and Snapchat. I think the ad rates are growing quicker than you might have expected there, and I think other aspects of the business doing significant as well. But I would expect a $30 billion line in revenue for this company. 29 to 30 billion is my estimate. I think it's going to be higher than this, short of $28 billion line. I could be wrong, but I really think based off of what I saw last week with these stocks estimates, I think it'll be pretty good. We have Ford after them. Softball year for Ford. Should be great against last year's. We've seen significant growth in the monthly vehicle sales numbers. So it should be a really good quarter for them compared to last year's quarter. PayPal, great core business there. Doing great things. Qualcomm, we've seen chip shortages. What does that mean for Qualcomm? I think iPhone strength, obviously beneficial for Qualcomm. No doubt. Yum brand, China. I don't think that's it's food. You like food? I like food. ServiceNow, Lam Research, Century, Ashford, and Annaly. Annaly Capital. I don't know if anyone owns that, but good for dividends for sure. Thursday before open, MasterCard I think will piggyback off the numbers of Visa. Be very similar, so look for Visa if you're a MasterCard holder on what to expect, because I expect similar numbers in terms of growth, really. So, ArcelorMittal, don't know that one, sorry. Overstock.com, Altria, great company, Altria really. Valero, you like oil? I mean, oil's been doing good numbers. What can I say? AstraZeneca, Merck. PG&E Corporation, Vista, and Yum Brands. There's just your normal Yum Brands. This is good stuff. Are people buying a lot of the KFC chicken sandwich? I don't know. It's the chicken sandwich wars, baby. Fast food is in the chicken sandwich wars. We're going to write notes in history about this. Your kids will learn this in history class. The great chicken wars of 2020 and 2021. When will it end? Don't know. Amazon after close. Are we shocked it's on this list? No. $12.22 expected EPS line. Good estimate. I think it's a little bit higher than that. I think it's a beat. That's against $10.30 of a year ago. Revenue estimates of it $115 billion. That's a lot of money. $115 billion expected 29.4% growth. I think 30% growth is a decent estimate for this company. I think that estimate's not too bad. I do still think it's a beat of around $1 billion. I could see him blowing it out of the house, though. I could see him blowing it out of the water. I don't know what blowing it out of the house means, but I could see him beating that estimate absolutely. But pretty decent estimates there, no doubt. Pinterest will show growth as well as the other social media stocks. Pinterest doing good numbers. USS, Twilio, Skyworks Solutions. Again, based off of phone strength from Apple, I think Skyworks does decent numbers. Vertex, Gilead Sciences, Dexcom, Upwork, and T-Mobile. See what telecom's looking like. We saw good numbers from AT&T actually last week. Friday before open, I should say, we have ExxonMobil, more gasoline and oil, Caterpillar, P&G. I mean, these are great companies to hold. AbbVie, these are great stocks right now. This is incredible, incredible stuff. Chevron, Enbridge, Weyerhaeuser, Colgate, Palmolive. I mean, you got all these great companies. Huntsman and IDEX. Friday's got a lot of great companies. None that I'm super focused on, because I think these are companies that their core business hasn't changed at all in the last year, regardless of environment. But business is strong. That's what I got for you today. It's a long one, I know, but I hope you stuck with it. Let me know what you want to talk about. Want me to talk about this week in the comments. Let me know. I hope you have a great day, and I love you.